The constitution has provided for funds that is meant to the judiciary to go to the judiciary. Why are governors and Mr. Wike buying cars or building houses for the judiciary?
Is it against the constitution? Does this flout any laws of the land?
The section of the constitution that deals with these is section 121 and section 81 of the constitution. And in that instance, as was argued and fought for by Nyesom Wike in 2020, which also resulted in the fifth alteration of the constitution, the aim is to ensure that any fault, any amount that is due to the judiciary as a third arm of government is a charge upon the Consolidated Revenue Fund, and it should go directly to the head of the judiciary, in this instance, federal judiciary, to the National Judicial Council, from where it goes to the heads of court. What I've simply summarized is the provisions of section 121 of the Constitution. And that would mean, in practical terms, that when the budget is being drawn up annually, the three arms of government get what is due to them, it includes the legislature. So, to give you an example, what happens in the legislature, in the federal legislature, in the National Assembly, is that there is a vote, there is a bulk funds that is allocated to the National Assembly that goes to the National Assembly Service Commission. That is for the National Assembly. The executive gets its own through the various arms of the executive, including the one made for, set apart for the presidency. And so the one that goes to the judiciary also goes to the National Judicial Council. And don't forget, elementary budgeting. A budget is an expenditure that contains two basic lines of expenditure: recurrent expenditure and capital expenditure. Recurrent expenditure contains salaries and allowances of judges, while capital expenditure will contain other things like infrastructure and things. And that is why, and we would understand the reason why they drafted section 121 knew what they were doing. It is in furtherance of the principle of separation of powers, so that the executive will not have undue influence over the judiciary or the legislature, and everybody will be able to hold one another in check. That is why section 121 was drafted as such. That would mean to infer that if judges need cars, it shouldn't come from the executive, because the judiciary has a budget that has a recurrent expenditure and a capital expenditure. And so when a minister or a governor, and I think I preface this by saying this about Mr. Wike, this happens also at the state level, where a governor belongs back to the government, we see time and again. Number one, it is made to appear like a gift, when it shouldn't be a gift. These are judicial officers who are serving the state. Their payments in terms of allowances and other things they're entitled to, including cars and houses, should form part of their remuneration. Okay. And so when the executive, through the governor or minister, does that, it is an undue influence in collecting and accepting those gifts. It impugns on the ability of the judiciary to be objective, and it also damages the perception of the judiciary in the eyes of the commonwealth. And there is a phrase that is said in law, that justice must not only be done, it must be seen to have been done. And when it said seen to have been done, the society, everybody from the poor to the rich, must see and agree with the court that justice has been done. In this instance, when the average Nigerian sees the governor buying cars for the judges, what does that suggest? And don't forget, these governors, in some instances in the executive capacity or through the agencies of the state, also appear before the same courts for adjudication of matters. So in the instance of Mr. Wike, he even said it, that he got the land from Julius Berger and intends to build buildings for members of the judge. At the end, it looks like a good thing. But perhaps, and in line with what Mr. Wike said, he didn't go to the right due process to get that land from Julius Berger. If Julius Berger wants to go to court to challenge how that land was reallocated, where will that put the file? Before the same zone, who have now become beneficiaries of what would have been termed as an illegality, or what has been done in Julius Berger. And so that in itself sets up those folks to be seen as being impartial.
Since we're talking about objectivity and impartiality, do you think this has got anything to do with the politics that will be played 2027?
I may not be able to speak as to the particular motive of Mr. Wike, some of the governments. But what I do know is this gift can never mean well in terms of the effect on the judiciary.
Okay.
As to what it portends in the reality, and how the people see it, no matter how well intentioned they may be. So if Mr. Wike and the governors, if their counter argument, and I'm yet to hear from, if their counter argument is that they mean well, it's for the interest of the members of the judiciary, let them say it. The point SERAP has made and will continue to make against such arguments is that it doesn't look good. No matter how we look at it, it doesn't look good. Let's say 2024, or whatever happens in 2025, or whatever happens in between in the off-cycle elections, these cannot mean well. The judiciary must be free. It must be seen to be free. And the workings of the judiciary, including in this instance, the work of the judiciary, must be seen to be objectively done. Like I told you, the constitution has provided for funds that is meant to the judiciary to go to the judiciary. Why are governors and Mr. Wike buying cars or building houses for the judiciary?